All right, there we go. This is Jackie with All Access, and I'm here with Front Porch Step at the Charlotte stop of Vans Warped Tour. One day sort of bleeds into the next. How do you keep up with or break up the monotony?
We have a tour book that tells us which city we're in. Like sometimes I'll have a friend, like for instance, I have a friend visiting me today, and I'll know that that person's coming to the Charlotte date or, whatever. But other than those two things, it's just a mess. Like when we were in Florida, we did 3 dates in Florida, and I was every day, "What's up, Florida?" Like, never like said Orlando because I wasn't sure which one we were in. So I don't think there's a way to do it. You just kind of deal with it.
I didn't know either, so don't feel bad. Describe your LP Aware for new listeners out there.
Very, very brutally honest lyrics, which either will make you absolutely hate it or maybe love it if I get lucky. I don't really hold back on a lot of things. I think there's a lot of things that you should say that a lot of people don't say, and I've made it a point to say those things on the record. So a lot of people don't like it, and a lot of people do like it. So I think it's just go in there with an open mind, and if you don't like it, that's fine. And if you do like it, buy it, or if you can't afford it, steal it and give it to all your friends. So either one of those.
Why is it important to you to be so honest?
I feel like I know why you're asking, but I feel like that question should answer itself. I mean, it's sad that I have to answer that question, if that makes sense. I think you can. I don't like to cover songs unless I feel the lyrics. For instance, I cover "Linger" by the Cranberries, and it's one of the most people just hear it, and it's a commodity to some people, but it's one of the most heart-wrenchingly beautiful songs ever written. But I could never go just pick a top 40 hit. No offense to anybody in the top 40, but I could never go pick a top 40 hit and just play it just because the crowd wants to hear it. And what I'm getting at is when I play my songs, because of how honest I was when I wrote them, you could see, and I feel like you can see and feel it when I sing them, because I almost get in the state of mind that I was when I wrote it. Even if it's about a girl I was with, 100 years ago, I can still get in the mindset I was when I wrote that song, and I can project that emotion to you and make you feel what I'm feeling almost. And I don't mean that in a cocky way. I'm saying for all you know, I could be a terrible singer and a terrible guitarist and a terrible lyricist, but I feel like I'm very good at being honest with my songs, and I think that's all that matters, honestly.
I agree.
I said honest a lot. I even said honest.
Honestly, I think that's an honest, great answer, honestly.
Honesty is all that matters, honestly, and I just want to be honest, honestly. Honest.
Sounds like a emo song title. I just went there. So you're playing the acoustic tent, and how have fans been receiving your music? What has the response been like?
It's been pretty nuts. I hate saying it. I hate saying the stuff like, my tent's packed or anything like that, but literally I haven't had like a tent that just wasn't full of people, and I know that that's a very, very good blessing, a very good luck, and very good, a good thing to happen. I know it can stop at any time, so I try not to be conceited about it, and I try to just appreciate every new day. Is like not like, oh, this is another group of kids, just another group of kids, but like, oh my God, like another day that I get to play in front of a full tent and hear these kids scream my lyrics in my face, and it's the most beautiful part of my life, and I love it.
How does acoustic music fit into the Warped Tour scene?
It's awesome when it rains because people like to go under the tent. I don't think people really have much of a preference. I mean, there's some things I don't understand about the tour. Like, I can understand rapping and I understand DJing, but I don't understand like a lot of the stuff. Like, I'm not trying to talk crap about anyone, but I don't even know who they are. But I'll walk around and I'll just see this huge crowd of people like watching this person, and they're like a quote unquote DJ, but they're just playing other people's songs through the speakers and like adding other parts to other people's songs. And like I feel like when you go into the acoustic basement tent, and then you have the bands that, and there's nothing wrong with backtracking, like somebody wants to add a little flavor to their music, but what I'm saying, the point I'm getting to is you go into the acoustic basement, you sit and watch the people, and you know that they can play every song they've ever written, and it's completely naked. It's just there in front of you, and you don't have to worry about whether, what part of this, like if the drums were triggered or anything like that. It's just they're right in front of you. You can touch them. Way more people go and see, Bayside than like, Anthony Ranieri has an amazing crowd, but more people go see Bayside. But what people don't understand is because some people aren't a huge fan of lyrics and vocals like I am. What people don't understand is you have the acoustic basement tent. you can go watch Bayside and stand 300 feet from them and like watch the little ant version of Anthony Raniere. You can go to the acoustic basement and you can sit and watch Anthony Raniere play Just to See You Smile by Tim McGraw in the most beautiful fucking rendition that possibly existed. And you're literally as far from him as you and I are. And I think the acoustic basement tent's a beautiful thing. I think Brian Marquis is a genius, and that's not just because I'm on it. So it's awesome.
I was going to say, you just mentioned 2 amazing artists that are playing that tent as well.
Will I mention some? Sure. Well, I think I'm not just going to try not to mention all of them, but some of my favorites are Elder Brother, Rob Lynch, of course Brian Marquis, and then it's unfair. It's really unfair how good Bad Rabbits are. I want them off the tour because they come in here and they assholes. They just slay. They slay every time. And even, I go in there and like I can have a big crowd and I can feel like I did a good job. I don't sound like an angel just reached down from heaven and like touched my vocal cords. And that's what Bad Rabbit sounds like every time. And it's stupid. I think it should be kicked off the tour and go win a Grammy where they belong and quit making us look bad because it's bullshit. But then there's Anthony Raniere. There's people like that. It's awesome. Tent's awesome.
Anthony Raniere has a
tour. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's so cool.
Oh my God! Can I tell you a story?
Please do.
Alison Weiss is on my bus. I fall asleep to Alison Weiss's music, and I think she's lovely. And anybody that doesn't know this doesn't know anything about Alison Weiss. But Alison Weiss is obviously very, very prominent in the like Pride community, being a gay person herself. And I didn't know this when I listened to her music. So when I first heard "Wait for Me," I fell in love with her through her music, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna marry this girl." And my friend was like, she's a lesbian, right? And I was like, that's not true. I was like, that's not true at all. Like, there's no way that's true. There's no way you're joking. So I told her that story the first day I met her. She's like, you're fangirling over me right now. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I was completely fangirling. I've known her for 4 days now. She's one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. Her music, you can tell her music is honest because she doesn't have these sweet, nice songs and is a complete asshole in person. She's just as sweet and pure and beautiful as her songs are. She's a beautiful person. I love being around her. I just want to give her a little shout out.
Yes. I had the pleasure of interviewing her a few days ago, so I completely agree.
It's a sweet little voice when she talks. She's adorable.
Remind me when we're done. I'll show you a really adorable picture. It'll kind of drive you nuts. You'll probably fall in love with her again. It's fine.
Oh, I already am. I can't stop it.
Going back to honesty, you've been honest about mental health issues and things like that. Warped kids, all kids deal with issues, whether it's mental health or just bad time as a teen. What kind of music did you go back to and listen to, if you can remember, when things were tough for you?
2 of those bands are on this tour, Bayside and Saves the Day. Dashboard Confessional is probably one of the biggest, along with Brand New. Just really angsty lyrics, because the problem with parents, not all parents, but the stereotypical parent when it comes to kids self-harming themselves, what happens to psychiatrists, and psychiatrists are there and they tell you these things and they don't know you. They have a degree of the art of psychiatry, but they don't have a degree of your mind or how you feel. So what I try to do is I try to tell these kids, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know that what you're going through isn't worse than anything I've ever gone through in my entire life. What I want you to know is that I'm here and that I care. And I think that's what they need to hear more than it's going to get better. Because you have these parents that see these kids cutting themselves and they don't understand it and they're afraid. And it's not just afraid, I'm afraid they're going to hurt themselves. It's almost like a person that's ignorant to the gay community and is homophobic. They're just ignorant to what it is, and they're afraid of it. It's strange at first, because if you were raised in a very country bumpkin town and have never met a gay person in your life and walk into San Francisco, you're going to be a little weirded out. Not that gay people are weird. It's strange. It's different. So when these parents see these kids cutting themselves, it scares them, and they don't know what to do. So they stop doing that. They don't understand it's an addiction. The kids are doing it because it makes them feel good, and they don't know how to stop doing it. And instead of being stop doing that, or you're grounded, stop cutting yourself, you're a freak. I don't know why you're cutting yourself, and I hate that you're doing it, but I want you to know that I'm here if you need to talk to me. And it sucks because you're going to worry if they're going to end up in the hospital or they're going to end up cutting too deep, and it's a scary thing to think about, but they need someone there for them more than they need your scolding about doing it, because they're not doing it to get attention. I don't think anyone cuts their skin to get attention. There's a very scientific reason behind cutting that I don't understand because I've never done it, and that's why I don't tell a kid I understand, because I don't understand. But all I say is that I'm there, and that's what matters.
That's absolutely perfectly said. So I appreciate that. Keep being honest, keep being yourself, and I think fans will continue to respond to that. What's up next for you after Warped Tour?
Well, a lot of things that aren't announced. I just released a music video. So if you haven't seen that, it's for Aware. It's featuring the very absolutely stunning model, me, and then Hattie Watson's also in it. And I think she's a model. I'm not sure. But we're both very gorgeous people. I'm a lot more gorgeous than her. It was very awkward on set because I'm like a 10 and she's probably a good 8. And it was just very awkward because you could tell she's very intimidated by me. She just didn't know how to act around me. And it's just like, Hattie, I'm a person, I'm just a human being, just strikingly handsome human being. But other than that, I got announced for Koi Fest in Kitchener, Canada. And I'm stoked for that. It's Chiodos, Every Time I Die, the front bottoms, which I'm most excited about, period. Because 4 Year Strong, Every Time I Die is on it. But it's like I've just spent 2 months with them. I'm excited to see them, but it's the front bottoms are my I feel like I accepted that show to play with the front bottoms. Like they could have been like, you're getting paid $2 and you have to eat shit the whole time. I'm like, okay, like if I want to play with the front bottoms, it's fine. I can deal with that.
Awesome. Well, stay tuned for much more from Front Porch Step. This is Jackie. Thanks to All Access and In the Key of Change. All right, so this adorable picture.